Hello everybody. Maybe you, as well as the rest of our audience, have dreamed of being somehow different. Usually people want to have some special talent or an incredible look. To achieve this, many people get piercings, paint their hair with some strange color, or tattoo their whole body. However, some people don't need to do anything to be different. That's the case with Jono Lancaster. He has a truly unusual face, but we don't think anyone would envy him. This guy is unique because of his very rare condition and his love for life. You won't believe it, but in addition to accepting himself as he is, well, we won't ruin the surprise, and we'll tell you everything in order. Today you'll discover the story of an unusual child adopted by a rich family. Let's get it on. At birth, the British child Jono Lancaster was very different from what his parents expected. The problem was not the colour of his eyes or skin. The child, although healthy during pregnancy, was born with a rare genetic disease. The condition is so rare that only 1 in 50,000 people has it. Just think about that number. This condition is called Treacher-Collins syndrome. It's characterised by severe deformities of the skull. In other words, the person suffering from this disease lacks some bones, such as the cheekbone or the jaw. Unfortunately, the young mother gave up the child at the moment she saw him. She may have been scared or didn't want to carry this responsibility. Normally, people with this syndrome suffer from many diseases, and not everyone is ready for this task. Fortunately, Jono was lucky, because a rich woman met him and decided to take care of him. When Jono was just a few weeks old, she adopted him. The disease only harmed his ability to hear, but as for the rest, he was a completely normal child, despite the doctor's predictions that Jono would never walk, talk, and would only bring trouble to the adoptive parents. Nevertheless, you know that doctors are sometimes wrong when it comes to miracles. The adoptive mother began to work very hard with the child to help him. Jono underwent several expensive plastic surgery operations, but he still looked different from others. Because of his unusual appearance, he couldn't make friends, although he tried very hard. He'd buy sweets for his classmates and throw fireworks in the classroom. Instead of having good relationships and a reputation as a cheerful boy, like the Weasley twins, all he got was rejection from the others, which saddened him deeply. He even stopped going out on the street because people were mocking him, which depressed him and his adoptive mother. However, everything changed when a friend offered Jono a job as a bar manager. This allowed him to enter society. Often, Jono had to deal with hostile, aggressive, and drunk people, but in time, he learned to accept their reactions and simply ignore them. In addition, Jono found many interesting interlocutors and decided to practice sports, as his illness only affected his hearing. But hearing isn't that important when you're working out, right? After some time, Jono started working as a fitness instructor and even earned a degree in physical education. Yeah, just imagine, his condition wasn't even a problem to get an education.
Good. Let's go. Keep going. Come on. That's it, stop that.
However, Jono was unlucky with one thing: trying to meet his biological parents. Sadly, when the guy managed to communicate with them, his family simply refused to meet him. Maybe they had very serious reasons, but we can't understand what happened. Obviously, the answer made him very sad, but he managed to overcome the situation. According to him, if his parents are happy, Jono himself is happy, and this is what matters. Maybe some of our viewers will be wondering, how was the love life of Jono? He has a rather unusual physique, which could cause him problems when it comes to flirting. But, he's done quite well. When he managed to raise his self-esteem a little, he began to ask different girls out, and at some point he met the love of his life, Laura. By the way, this happened in the same gym where he worked. Jono measured the girl's pulse before starting training, and it turned out that the girl had a very fast heartbeat. According to Jono, this made him think that Laura had some feelings for him. Yeah, it's a useful life hack to know if a girl likes you or not. Today they're still together. They even bought a house, so it looks like they're doing great. And look at his wife. She's very beautiful and a very good person too, always supporting Jono. In fact, despite the fact that plastic surgery has developed a lot over the past 30 years, Jono refuses to perform any more operations. Doctors have offered him several times to correct his cheekbones and jaw using modern technology, But the guy no longer needs that. What's the point if he's already fulfilled his dream and loves himself as he is? And it's not a very easy thing to do. Well, what do you think of this incredible story? Seems to us that, compared to this, any other problem you have will seem silly. It's impressive how people with reduced abilities use their defects to inspire others. In addition to fulfilling the feat of accepting himself, Jono encourages children who suffer from the same disease. For example, when he found out that Zachary Walton, a 2-year-old Australian boy, was suffering from the same condition, Jono decided to meet him and went to Australia. After a couple of long flights across the world, the two finally met. Jono took a photo with Zachary and put it on Facebook to share the news with his friends. Zachary's mother revealed that for them, Jono is a celebrity and inspires their family a lot. After spending some time with this family, Jono said that for a long time he had wanted to meet someone similar to him, but younger, to tell him that he had to believe in himself in order to find a job, a hobby, a girlfriend, and create a family. However, it wasn't just one visit. Today, Jono occasionally travels around the world and supports children with Treacher-Collins syndrome. Using his own example, he shows them that life is much deeper and more interesting than a pretty face, because every person deserves to be happy. Nevertheless, if it still seems to you that Jono's story is not very convincing, we'll tell you about another person with the same illness who also believed in himself, created his family, and lives a happy life. This is Simon Moore, and he also suffers from Treacher-Collins syndrome since birth. He was virtually deaf and spent most of his childhood indoors, hiding from other children who made fun of him all the time. Even today, Simon has to accept that some ill-mannered adults point the finger at him and stare at him. We believe that anyone else in his place will be very embarrassed and worried, but our hero simply ignores them because he believes in himself, and that is the most important thing. Thanks to his optimism, he was able to find his true love and create a family. As we've already mentioned, Simon had problems with hearing, so he had to learn sign language. That's where he met his love, a girl called Vicky. She started taking care of his pet, a dog named Foggy. However, as you can already guess, after making friends with a puppy, she also expressed her affection for the owner, and eventually they got married. A little later, as often happens in many families, Vicky and Simon had a daughter. Unfortunately, the baby inherited the disease from her father, albeit in a less serious form. The girl has good cheekbones and only her eyes look a little droopy. It's hard to believe, but the neighbors made fun of not only Simon but also of little Alice now. But Simon never gave up. He simply ignored the looks and says that he's never been happier. Every day he tells his daughter that she's very pretty and teaches her to love herself. Simon says he never thought about whether his daughter could inherit this illness, but he knew that in any case the girl would be surrounded by people who would love her in spite of anything. According to Simon, there is no one more special than Alice, the girl who changed his life. As for Simon's wife, many people think she's a nurse when they see her with her husband and daughter. Imagine their surprise when they find out Vicky's the wife and the mother. People are literally shocked, especially the children, who try to insult the little girl. But what can Vicky do? The happy woman just ignores them and continues to enjoy her life. We hope that this video will motivate you to reach your goals and achieve everything that you previously thought was impossible. If people with such serious conditions were able to fulfill all their dreams, so can you. If you also consider that the people on this video are true heroes, give us a like, and tell us in the comments if you know more stories of incredible people.
If you haven't checked Jelly Gummy Bear's channel yet, you should do it right away. You'll certainly like all the funny experiments with the jelly bear, cool life hacks, awesome homemade stuff, and exciting adventures that are waiting for you on the channel.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.